y'all, what's up? It's those wrestling girls. It's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we are here to let you know to tune into Old Face Wrestling because they're one of the best podcasts out. And we follow them, so you should too. So subscribe, hit that button, and listen for the latest in wrestling news. Later.
Hey, this is Sofia Lopez from Women of Wrestling, and you are watching Old Face Wrestling.
That's right. Oh, Face Wrestling. Listen to the podcast. Listen. They are Dark Side approved. Outlet approves it. Oh, Face Wrestling. I'll be listening. Will you?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today on O Face Wrestling. This is your host JT, and today I am joined by Thunder Rosa. So hey Rosa, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me. I look super fresh today with my my sunglasses.
Yeah, you look really G'd up, so that's really cool.
And
so got a few questions for you today. So first question I have to ask you, what got you into wrestling?
I was depressed, and I didn't have like an outlet that allowed me to express my feelings, my violent feelings. So I utilized wrestling for it.
Okay. Did you start off being a fan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was a super indie fan. I wasn't like I never was like a big time like WWE or TNA fan. It was always like indie wrestling.
Gotcha. Yeah. I know there's definitely a lot of fans out there like that. A lot of people don't like the whole like mainstream kind of thing that, WWE does and all that. And that's nothing wrong with that. So how old were you when you first started wrestling?
Let's see. I started in 2004. I started training in 2014. That's when I paid for my school, and then I started like training in the ring in 2015. I am 33, 20, I don't know, like 27, 28 I was.
Okay. So I know right now you're currently you're a little bit all over the place. It seems like I know you wrestle on the independent circuit, and you're also wrestling in Women of Wrestling. So how did you get into WoW?
I was contacted by David McLean. They needed girls, and they were interested in somebody that could do a mask character.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was already doing Cobra Moon, I think they decided to do like the crossover with Lucha Underground. They thought it was a good idea. So that's how I got started.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that you do the serpentine gimmick in Women of Wrestling right now, and you have the mask. I like it. Me being like an old school fan, I like the mask, and I also know you also have like face paint and all that too. So I like the kind of like the mask and face paint kind of look. So I think that's really interesting. I think you have a really interesting character in Women of Wrestling right now. So the next question I have, tell me a little bit about your relationship with Sofia Lopez. I know she's managing you right now, and wow.
Oh man, I will have to say Sofia is one of the greatest attorney in the world. She's great, man. She's great to work with. She's an actress, and she used to train wrestling, but she decided not to do it because I think it was too risky for her. But we have a natural chemistry, and that's like really hard to find when you have a manager. And we're learning together, and like this last season we had so much fun with the storyline, with the vignettes, and just like together in general. Like I love Sofia Lopez, and I'm like super happy that she was my manager.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. She is definitely the greatest attorney in the world. Super nice person. One of the nicest people I met. She actually I reached out to a few women from Women of WoW, and she contacted me and set up the interview. And after our interview, you were the first name that she brought up for me to contact. And she just seems very willing to help out other people, and definitely one of the nicest people I've ever met. And she's a real sweetheart. As far as your chemistry, I was watching because I have to watch on demand. I can't watch when it airs on Saturdays, but I was watching your match last night, and just you and Sofia together, it just seems like a good mix. You don't always see that in wrestling as well. You see people, it just doesn't seem like a good vibe. They're just kind of thrown together, but you two just have natural chemistry, and I really like that a lot.
It's very genuine. I like I said, I you can't sell that. It's natural, and from the moment they put us together, I was like, oh, you speak Spanish? Oh, I speak Spanish. Oh, let's speak Spanish together. So it was just like, it was great.
So now I want to ask you a little bit about your MMA career. I know you had your first match, was it like 2 weeks ago?
No, it was like last Friday, actually.
Last Friday? Oh, okay. So yeah, last Friday. What got you interested in wanting to try some MMA?
I'm crazy. It's like bottom line, brother.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just wanted to do something different. I feel like I was getting a little stale in my professional wrestling stuff. Like I was training, but I wasn't training a lot, and it's just like started training MMA. It just ignited like a passion that I had for just like martial arts that I didn't think it was gonna be there, and I'm just like just fire up. I mean, I didn't get the result that I wanted, but I went the distance. And for my first fight ever on every single aspect, it was very courageous for me to get in the cage. And I have nothing but respect for my opponent, Nadine Mandu, who was from Belgium. I wish her nothing but the best from now on. This was her first uh, win on professional fighting, and it was really cool. It was a very special moment, and I'm really happy that I'm in Combate Americas, who supports a lot of the Hispanic Latino community fighters, and it was a very magical moment for Thunder Rosa in general, and for Melissa Cervantes, which is my my born name, my maiden name, and it was very very special. It was like there was a perfect crossover from professional wrestling into MMA, because all the fans that were there, most of all the fans were professional wrestling fans that
Mm-hmm.
follow Thunder Rosa. And there's a couple pictures that I posted in last week about people being there, and like the camera caught them, and it was like a Thunder Rosa section, which is it was pretty awesome, very 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 awesome.
Yeah, it definitely seems that. I mean, I definitely have to ask you this too, like, because when it comes to MMA and or not WWE, but just wrestling in general, like with wrestling, you're trained to protect yourself and your opponent, but MMA, it's a little bit different. So how hard is it to transition from, going from protecting yourself and your opponent to actually, fighting?
Well, it's very liberating in a way once you get it done. Because of the damn, I can hit for real, like I can choke people for real,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I mean, in professional wrestling is how I was taught. It was, it was hard. It was hard hitting, and you will feel the hits, but it was hard. I mean, definitely, because you're working together with your opponent, and on this one, you are not working with your opponent. You are there to kill. But once you get into the mindset, it's easier. Where it's like you have to win. She's about to get you. You're not allowed to. You're not gonna allow her to do that. So yes, it was hard at the beginning. It was very very difficult at the beginning, because the technique is different. Striking, we don't do a lot of striking in that's not my style of professional wrestling, and I had to learn that from the bottom up, and I'm still learning. And I'm going back to the scoreboard, and I'm going to be working on bettering my technique on every single aspect that it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do. I mean, it was your first match. You're still learning, which is, part of the process. You know, and especially like I said, just, it's a different mental kind of aspect to, going into MMA and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I definitely wish you the best of luck, in your next match with in your MMA career. So last question I have for you too. If you could wrestle anyone in the whole entire world in the wrestling business, who would you choose to work with in the ring?
Sarah Stock.
There's
Sorry. Yeah, she's like one of the people I look up to, and I continue to look up to, for what she represented. She was somebody that went to a different country and became a star and became a legend in that country, which is Mexico. And that's what I want to do here in the United States. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I came to the United States as an immigrant. And I came to a business where it was mostly dominated by males, white males. And I want to be one of the most successful Mexican-born wrestlers that came in wrestle in the United States and made a name for herself. So that's like my goal in here.
Yeah, I like how you didn't hesitate with your answer too. You were just like, boom, Sarah Stock. So yeah, that
Yeah,
seems
she's.
like
I'm telling you, I love her. I love her style. I took one or two things from her repertoire, you know, and she's amazing.
yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you, Miss Thunder Rosa, for joining us today on O Face Wrestling. It was definitely a pleasure having you a part of the show.
Thank you, and I apologize for having this beautiful face, but as you can see, I still have like a little bit of black eyes, and this is like what
Mhm.
happened. But
Yeah, I saw your picture that you posted. I mean, that's just part of the, MMA. I've seen worse though. So
hey,
yeah. Do you have any social media you want to plug for us?
I actually have. It's like right behind me. Thunder Rosa on Instagram, Thunder Rosa 2, Thunder Rosa 22 on Twitter and Instagram. So you guys can follow me here, and you can also purchase my merchandise at thunderrosabigcartel.com.
All right, you hear that, folks? Make sure you follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and also make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well at O Face Wrestling. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you again, Thunder Rosa.
No, thank you for having me. Have
No
a good day.
problem at all. You too.